My experience here, studying in Sydney is, uh, from my personal opinion, it's fun. It's just different from studying in Indonesia. Uh, I got to meet a lot of people from other countries as well, and making friends also. Um, I think that's all for the introduction.
I see. Thank you for for sharing with us about what you do now. So can you also share how do you get to Sydney there and what the requirements do you need? Or if one of us want to study in Australia, so what requirements do we need?
So, because I choose the design course for my study, it actually depends on what you want to choose. But the most important requirement for you to get here is the IELTS test and also good grades. As I remember and as I know, I might be wrong on this, but the minimum requirements for the grades is 70 for the core subjects and a minimum of 5 in IELTS. But it depends on your course, really.
Okay, so 5 depends on what course we choose, yeah. And 70 is for all the subject at school in during our high school. Is that so?
Yes.
I
But
see.
they will just see your latest grade, like in high school,
The latest, I
the
see.
latest one.
Okay, so do you still need other requirements or probably you write the letter or the other
Other than
test?
academical requirements,
Yes, I
uh, yeah, the visa, of course.
suppose.
Yeah, I think that's all. But for the visa requirements, you need to,
The embassy,
uh,
yeah.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
so
help
yeah.
help help test or like, well,
Okay.
as I remember, the Australian government won't like issue you a visa if you have tuberculosis. As I remember, if you have that previously, you just need to. I don't really know the steps, but there's much steps to it if you want to get a visa if you have the tuberculosis before.
I see. Okay. Yep. So for the academical is that's all, yeah.
Yeah, that's
Do
all.
you need to add more design to share to the university or anything?
No, just they just want your grades. That's all.
Or just your grades? I see. Okay. So yeah, anything more to I mean in some sentences, do you have any other motivation or what to remember, what to prepare for all of your juniors here?
I don't really know how to say this, but I think just like pursue what you like right now or what you love. Keep developing your talents. Study hard so you can just achieve that perfect future you want and never give up.
Never give up.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Thank you,
Uh,
Jesslyn. Thank you
yeah,
for the
and
sharing.
if anyone have any question, yeah, just feel free to ask me in Bahasa or in English.
Yeah, yeah. So if you have any
And
questions, probably everyone
yeah,
can
and if you want
drop.
like some suggestion for IELTS test too, because I'm going to take one too anytime soon.
Okay, okay. So everyone, if you have any question, you can just drop the question, and the question and answer session will be at the end of our session after our keynote speaker share her sharing. Okay. Yeah. So I think that's all from Jesslyn. Thank you, Jesslyn, for your sharing. So best of luck
Thank you.
and God bless for your study there anyway.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Up next.
Okay, so um, oh yeah, if you plan to study in Australia, yeah, we have a person to ask some question, yeah, about how to get there, what to prepare, what to yeah, not only prepare but academic, yeah, also mentally and everything. Okay, so maybe Teacher Jaslyn will help you here. Okay, another thing. So after this, we're gonna watch a video about some seniors because some seniors live in other countries, not in Indonesia. So we have time differences. Yeah, maybe they are working right now, or maybe they are sleeping right now. Yeah, we don't know. So we're gonna watch a video. There are four singers that are gonna share their experience, yeah, their experience about their job, their studies. So, okay, enjoy it. Okay, so host, could you please play the audio, the video? Okay, thank you.
I am Franz Tanuwijaya and I'm Indonesian. Currently, I live in Qatar. It is a country in the Middle East. Previously, though, I lived in China and in the Philippines. So it's been 9 years since I left Indonesia.
Hi, my name's Sana. I've been living in Japan for 3 years now.
Hi everyone, my name is Karisa and I am currently staying in Taipei, Taiwan.
Hello everyone, my name is Michelle Suryadibrata. You can call me Michelle.
I graduated cum laude during my college day. I realized that having a master degree with honors is very good for my career advancement. That's why I just went for it.
At first, I went to graduate university and it was an international course, so everything in campus was in English. That also means I get to type my research in English and participate in international conferences. Just last year, I collaborated with my professor and we both co-write a paper and we got awarded for best paper on Access Educational Conference on 2020.
This is my third year staying here, and right now I am studying Bioenvironmental Systems Engineering in National Taiwan University in Taipei.
I was a student back then at Parahyangan Catholic University. I was a management student. During my university life, I took an exchange program to France at ESX School of Business in Lille. After that, I graduated in 2020 as a Corona batch because that's when Corona just started rising.
Before entering university, all of us have to write study plan and personal statement letters. Personally, we have the option to write it in English or in Chinese, but at that time, I couldn't really speak Chinese that well. So I decided to write mine in English. I believe that it is very important to be able to communicate well in English and to be able to express our thoughts and emotions appropriately in that personal statement letter and that study plan letters, because we have to persuade the school and the professors as to why they should accept us in this university.
The first question that they will ask you is about your English proficiency. That's why they will ask you about your IELTS score, your TOEFL score, and then they will start to ask you to write a letter why you would like to apply for this exchange program. So here you will be tested on your English communication skills because they need to make sure that you can survive abroad with foreigners.
I took the IELTS test.
The IELTS test.
Writing section.
Writing, because I think in our curriculum system, our tests basically mostly happen in multiple choice. We were not used to write in English, and then we need to make sure that we found the right vocabulary. We need to nail on the grammar. So I think that's what make it hard, because IELTS test was really pricey. So it's not only give you pressure from the test itself, but about the pressure of getting failed.
I work as a flight attendant or cabin crew. However, now I am transitioning to be a talent acquisition specialist for Qatar Airways. So it means to say I get people into this company, I check their CV, I check if they're a good fit for this company via interview. As a cabin crew, I flew here and there all around the world, and I was constantly jet lagged.
Now I'm working as a designer in a company that both use English and Japanese. So unlike people in Indonesia, most people in Japan does not speak English at all. That is precisely why they value people who can speak English, especially those who have more international and open mindset.
I applied to Unilever and I was blessed to be able to be accepted as their UFLP or Unilever Future Leader programs. I managed to go through the recruitment process, which was happened all in English because some of my recruiters are foreigners. Currently, I was in a marketing and sales division.
English is extremely important. I speak, write, and read English on a daily basis. It is something that we all must have to be able to communicate with the international community. I conduct interviews, send reports, and resolve issues in English. This is indispensable. You have to speak it. I speak 5 languages, but English is still the most important one. They say that Chinese is important. Yes, it is. I'm happy that I'm able to speak Chinese, but then really, English is still the most used one. So yeah, study it well, guys. It's important. I'm telling you.
I could create more connections here in Taipei, in Taiwan, through English. I could communicate with my international friends, for example, my friends from Panama, from Malaysia, from Korea, from Russia, also from United States. Some of my friends are from those countries. I think it's a very beautiful thing because through English, it could help us create more bonds with our friends and more connections with others. English is my lifesaver here because if not using English, I would have to write my papers and my homeworks in Chinese.
I'm a talent acquisition specialist, so please trust me, education is never wrong. You must choose the most important things and prioritize them. We have 24 hours and we can do so many things within 24 hours, but you have to make sure that those things are important and productive. Everything needs communication, and without being able to communicate or to express your ideas effectively, we cannot perform our best. And that's a loss, knowing that we have so many potentials in us, but we have to be able to communicate them well, right? Remember that English, Mandarin, and if you have the time, Spanish and or German are good to have as well.
I'm still far from being successful myself, but I can honestly say that one of the most important tools or skill is my English skill. Secondly, while English is indeed a highly valuable skill, I would also suggest to start with asking yourself what you want to be, what do you want to do, and ask why. If you want to compete globally or go outside of Indonesia or even just have a better edge compared to your peers or colleagues, then definitely make English as your own and then use it to learn and grow better and faster.
When you become a university student, all the textbooks, all the resources that you will use during your studies, most of them will be in English. So you need to make sure that you understand English well in order to nail the subject. You could also start to search a lot of other information if you would like to pursue exchange program, or maybe if you started to think about your future job, it will be best to search online about what you need to prepare.
So yeah, that's it for me. I hope I can give you some insight or motivation, if any. You can contact me if you want to ask any question further. Please ask Miss 1A on how to reach me. So see you.
For all of you guys that are studying English, good luck to you all and 加油 here from Taipei, Taiwan.
Okay, so since I wasn't there when the 4 students studied in ERC, so I will ask Miss Staff and Miss Wenyi about what do you remember about them? What memorable moment, or what do you remember the most? What's special about them? Okay, so maybe Miss Staff, Miss Wenyi,
Probably
Miss
Miss
Wenyi,
Wenyi,
Miss Wenyi dulu deh. Okay.
you dapat lebih banyak mungkin muridnya, Miss Grace.
Yeah, I'm glad, yeah, that yeah, some of our students can exist lah ya, all around the world. Yeah, thanks God for that. And yeah, Miss Steph and I and maybe the other teachers can feel glad and maybe a little bit proud because of that. Yeah, and yeah, of course, thankful to God that can use us for teaching them for some time. As far as I remember, when Miss Muti asked me to give opinions about those students, yang Miss ingat tuh anak-anak yang tadi itu 3 itu memang murid Miss. Jesslyn juga, Andrea Jesslyn tadi yang pertama, Cici yang pertama, kemudian Franz tadi yang di Qatar, Sena, kemudian satu lagi Michelle, dan yang terakhir itu yang Karisa itu anak Miss Wenyi yang paling besar, ya, my eldest daughter. Ya. Nah, yang Miss ingat itu memang orang-orang ini adalah orang-orang yang on time. Jadi kalau kalian di Uber ya sama Miss Wenyi, wah ini kenapa belum datang? Lalu Miss Justin kontak kalian begitu ya. Jangan merasa, waduh kok saya di Uber gitu ya, karena Miss, jadi Miss Steph, Miss Jessica, Miss Mood juga tahu kalau nggak datang tuh kita langsung report gitu ya, supaya kenapa? Supaya kalian belajar untuk on time gitu ya, itu bagian dari disiplin. Kemudian yang kedua yang Miss ingat itu mereka adalah orang-orang yang responsible, artinya tahu waktu belajar, waktu les ya. Mereka tahu tugasnya apa, gitu ya. Terus yang ketiga mereka adalah orang yang aktif, artinya nggak diem, nggak takut making mistakes, confident juga, confident. Artinya being confident doesn't mean not making any mistakes gitu ya. Tapi yang mau coba, yang aktif. Jadi mereka semua bukan anak-anak yang diem, tapi anak-anak yang aktif, berani bertanya, seperti itu ya. Lalu, yang Miss perhatikan lagi waktu Miss memikirkan ini ya, Miss Muti minta Miss prepare, Miss juga lihat ini ada orang tua yang support. Jadi waktu dulu kan mereka les saat belum pandemik ya, Bapak Ibu dan murid-murid semua ya. Jadi papa mamanya itu memang bukan tipe yang suka ngaret begitu ya, tapi mereka support, ada yang naik motor, ada yang naik mobil ya, ada yang jalan karena dekat gitu rumahnya ya. Michelle itu tetangga sama saya gitu ya. Lalu hal lain lagi yang Miss perhatikan, mereka juga orang-orang yang artinya bukan hanya les Inggris satu doang gitu, tapi yang Miss perhatikan seperti contoh Franz yang Miss ingat ya, Miss juga nostalgia sama Miss Steph waktu kemarin ya. Franz itu yang Miss tahu dia les juga Mandarin, jadi sangat fasih Mandarin. Lalu dia belajar juga kaligrafi, belajar alat musik kuceng, terus Chinese painting, dia bisa piano juga. Wah pokoknya waktu dulu tuh kalau mau rubah les tuh rasanya kok aduh penuh gitu, semua jadwal tuh seperti itu gitu ya. Tapi Miss mau kasih tahu kalian juga bahwa trust me, your hard work will be rewarding gitu. Jadi Miss percaya ya kalian lakukan bagian kalian, lalu berdoa sama Tuhan, begitu ya, dan itu tuh rewarding gitu. Kerja keras kalian tuh pasti akan ada hasilnya seperti itu ya. Kenapa ya susah-susah sekarang belajar grammar, harus ngumpulin worksheet, kalau enggak ini di WA-in Miss Muti, kenapa ini worksheetnya belum, deadline-nya hari Sabtu, oh, Miss di sini semua pada cerewet gitu ya. Rasanya kok begitu gitu ya. Ya anak-anak perlu mengerti juga hatinya kami gitu loh, hatinya guru-guru bahwa kita ingin seperti nularin ke satu kalian, ini loh kebiasaan belajar yang baik, yang mudah-mudahan nanti akan kalian bawa juga saat sekolah di jenjang yang lebih tinggi. Nanti kalau kuliah yang nggak ada yang ngurusin, kamu urus diri sendiri, begitu ya. Nah, kemudian satu lagi Miss, dari yang Miss tahu, ya ada beberapa orang juga yang pernah di dalam satu masa di dalam sekolah mereka tuh gagal gitu, gagal. Jadi ada anak yang pernah tidak naik kelas, tapi kemudian dia bisa bangkit, menemukan track-nya, ya jalan Tuhan buat dia, memilih jalur yang tepat, dan bisa dapat scholarship, bahkan bisa berkarya di negeri orang gitu, kompetitif dengan orang-orang di negara itu yang memang sangat kompetitif gitu ya. Nah, salah satulah dari mereka begitu ya. Lalu ya Miss kaget juga, tapi nggak naiknya bukan gara-gara pelajaran bahasa Inggris ya, gara-gara subjek yang lain begitu ya. Nah, satu lagi seperti anak Miss Uni itu Karissa, dia juga pernah gagal. Jadi waktu SMA itu dia sempat mau exchange ke Amerika, 1 bulan lebih begitu, tapi memang ditolak oleh kedutaan besar Amerika begitu ya. Ya waktu saat itu sih dia sangat down waktu itu, tapi Miss percaya bahwa jalan Tuhan itu pasti yang terbaik gitu ya. Akhirnya Tuhan ya waktu itu nangis dia di depan embassy itu ya, Mami kok ini kenapa aku susah banget, padahal kan kita menempuh jalan yang benar gitu ya, nggak bohong nggak apa. Waktu itu karena dia kekeh, kami orang tuanya berdua tuh sampai 2 kali apply visa Amerika begitu. Karena kan anaknya kekeh mau pergi begitu ya. Sebagai orang tua kami mengusahakan, walaupun waktu itu ya buat kami juga nggak murah gitu mengusahakan biaya visa itu ya. Tetapi rupanya ya ya jalan Tuhan pasti yang terbaik ya. Tahun ini thanks God, nanti Januari ini dia akan pergi ke Belanda begitu ya. Nah itu juga Miss pikir ya jangan, tadi ada Jesslyn bilang never give up ya, never give up. Ya betul. Kalau gagal coba lagi nggak apa-apa gitu. Kalau kalian tidak bisa berlari seperti orang lain, merangkap juga nggak apa-apa. Gitu. Itu kesan Miss buat anak-anak. Thank you semuanya. Mister silakan nyambung.
Iya nyambung. Kalau saya mungkin dari Michelle karena sampai sekarang masih sempat kontak juga ya. Kalau Michelle lucu juga sih, dia bilang, aduh kalau bisa balik lagi nih dulu belajar Inggris gitu ya. Mau belajar lagi Inggris yang lebih benar-benar, dia bilang. Kayaknya kalau dulu sih memang ya sih grammar bolak-balik sampai melotok katanya gitu kan ya. Tapi sebetulnya itu buat dia satu bekal, dia bilang gitu. Kalau sekarang kadang-kadang ada temennya gitu yang even grammar present simple gitu ya, yang harusnya pakai S apa enggak aja masih mesti nanya gitu, ini bener nggak ya grammarnya, mau bikin caption di IG gitu ya, mau bikin ada marketing jual apa gitu. Kadang-kadang masih harus tanya gitu hal sesimpel itu, dan buat dia sendiri, iya sih ya ternyata bener katanya gitu, perlu ya Inggris gitu, bahkan sesimpel yang di hidup tuh kepake gitu. Kalau mau bisa balik lagi, dia bilang dia sih kepengen itu belajarnya lebih bener lah gitu, dia bilang gitu sih. Ya jadi mungkin kalau Jesslyn dulu pernah inget juga ngajar waktu masih SD ya kayaknya Jesslyn ya, waktu masih di Muara sana, iya. Dulu Jesslyn anak yang ini juga ya, aktif juga gitu, nggak nyangka juga ternyata, wah sekarang di Sydney, di Australia, terus kita bisa share sama-sama di sini, dan ya Inggrisnya beda banget juga gitu ya, wah lebih lancar dan lebih baik gitu. Iya ya. So for all the students here, don't give up, just try your best. Teman-teman yang tadi, our seniors yang sudah pernah ngalamin juga jatuh bangun sebetulnya. Mereka juga sempat nggak suka baca, nggak suka grammars, and so on. Tapi ya they can achieve today, in a good position gitu ya sekarang. Mhm.
Jadi sukses itu bukan cuma privilege ya Miss ya, tapi juga ada kerja kerasnya gitu. Nggak cuma lahir terus tiba-tiba jadi pinter gitu, ada usahanya. Even yang tadi gagal pun ternyata bisa achieve more gitu dari kegagalan, bukan jadi terpuruk terus nyungsep ke lautan terdalam gitu ya.
Iya, iya betul.
Okay. Now
Okay.
we're gonna give time for Livia. There is here a scholarship recipient in Singapore, Livia and Janet. So we will give you time to share to ask here the parents, the students about your experience in Singapore. Okay, so
Okay, the time is yours.
Okay, hi guys. My name is Livia. So in a short moment, I'll be presenting about like my life story and how English has been important to me. So wait a while, let me share my screen. Okay, is it clear? Okay. Yeah, okay, so let me start. A very good day to all of you, students, teachers, and parents here. My name is Livia. And yeah, today I'll be sharing with you a little bit about my life. But firstly, I want to thank all the teachers at ESC for this opportunity for me to share. And I hope that this sharing can be useful and be inspiring to some of you here. Before I start, maybe if there are any questions along the way, you can just type into the question box, and then later, maybe Miss Steph or Miss Mo will relay it to me because I cannot monitor the chat right here. Yeah. Okay.
sure.
So firstly, let me introduce myself. My name is Livia Anjaneth Lenardi. I was born 22 years ago in the lovely city of Bandung. So I lived 15 years of my life in Bandung until I graduated from SMP, before I took a one-way flight to Singapore to pursue higher education. And now, 7 years later, praise be to God, I'm still here enjoying my journey as a medical student in the National University of Singapore. Yeah, so I'm graduating and getting my doctor title in 2.5 years, which is very exciting. Okay, next. Okay, so this is me in Anderson Secondary School with my classmates and teachers. So this is the first school I ever attended in Singapore. Like after getting the scholarship, yeah, I went to this school, and these are my classmates. Yeah, so I was very happy. Then after secondary school, I attended junior college, which is the equivalent to SMA in Indonesia, to get my GCE A-levels diploma, which is like UN-nya, I guess. UN SMA gitu. And then after that, so this is where I'm studying now. So the left picture is of me and my family during my white coat ceremony, which is like a ceremonial thing where all the new medical students get their first white coat and embark on the medical student journey. And then the picture on the right is some of my good friends in medical school. We are also wearing our white coats here. Yeah, and then there's that thing that says like Yonglulin School of Medicine, which is the name of my school lah. Okay, so a bit more story. So I moved here 7 years ago when I was 15 years old. So that is roughly like 1/3 of my whole life. I'm 22 now, so 15 years ago. No, 7 years ago I was 15. Yeah, so it's 1/3 lah. So these 7 years have shaped me to be who I am today through the many experiences that I've gone through. So these are not just like academical experiences, but I have like some pictures here to show like my life experiences. So the first one on the left, on the top left, is me volunteering with my Singaporean classmates at an orphanage in Indonesia. So because I could speak both languages, I was like the main point of contact, I guess, between the two parties. I was also in charge of planning an education plan for the kids at the orphanage, where we taught them a little bit of English through playing and like interacting with us. It was a very eye-opening and fulfilling experience to be able to use what I have learned and my skills to give back to the community and the people of my country. And then the second picture the top center picture is me when I joined a nationwide choir competition with my school choir. So aside from academics, I was also part of choir as my extracurricular activity, kayak school gitu. It was really fun because school was not just about studying for me, but also about developing skills and passions in other aspects. Then I don't know if you can see this. Maybe let me move it. Okay, so the top right picture is me while I was job shadowing at a dialysis center, which is cuci darah. Kalau kalian tahu orang yang sakit ginjal gitu, mereka cuci darah. So I was job shadowing there. So this was because I was in the process of deciding a university course and a career path in the future. So I had a lot of opportunities to explore my interest at school. This was an attachment that I did to explore my interest in medicine and healthcare specifically. So I'm so grateful that I got the chance to get a glimpse into the world of medicine before plunging headfirst into it in university. And then the fourth picture, which is the right bottom picture, is a picture that depicts my hostel life. So because I moved here when I was 15 and it was like with a bunch of friends from Indonesia too, we all stayed at a hostel. So yeah, living with other people for 4 years was one of the greatest experiences that I've had living abroad. These are the people I met daily, the people I go to school with, the people I live with, and the people who have become my best friends now through our shared experience. And the last picture, the bottom center picture, is of my university group mates. So this is just to show that through living abroad, I made friends with people with really different backgrounds from me. And yeah, I got to meet like my future colleagues and yeah. So, okay, next. Okay, and then the last part, which is the most fun part. 7 years of living abroad also means 7 years of fun times with my friends. So I think at this point, if any of you are thinking about like studying abroad or living abroad or moving abroad for anything else, like probably an exchange or yeah, anything, I just want to encourage some of you guys, if you're thinking about it, just do consider it, do your research if you want to, and go for it, because there are so many things that you can experience, so many things to learn, and so many friends to make. You learn how to live independently, you learn so many new perspectives from people on other parts of the world, and it will just like enrich your life and open a lot of doors for you in the future. Even if it's just for a short exchange, I think the experience will be really valuable and really fun as well. Okay, so at this point, you might be wondering, how did I get here? How did I go to Singapore and how did I go through like all of this stuff? So actually, 7 years ago, my school, which is SMPK 1 BPK, had a scholarship program to Singapore. And I was one of the scholarship recipients from Bandung with 5 other people. So the scholarship was for 4 years of 2 years of secondary school and 2 years of junior college. And then after junior college, I applied to NUS Medicine, which is my university. And to my surprise, I got in. And I'm currently also receiving a full scholarship for my university education. So here I am. Yeah. So I'm really super grateful that by God's grace alone, I could study in Singapore by paying a single cent for tuition fee. Really like zero. That is 7 years in total up till now. And I have 2.5 more years to go in my university education. This is aside from support from my family, of course, and teachers and friends who helped me to be who I am today. Yeah, and also a large part of how I was able to achieve these things is because I had a pretty strong foundation in the English language. Okay, So up until grade 9, actually, English was never a really important language to master, actually. I'm sure like some of you can relate, because a lot of times in Indonesia, you don't really need English to get by. You can just use Bahasa Indonesia, right? I also probably only used English at school and tuition classes that I attended. There was never a real need to use English for something super important. But the first life-changing moment where English proved to be very useful is my school-based scholarship test and interview, which were all conducted in English. So this is the first scholarship that I mentioned about the secondary school and junior college one. So for this one, we had written tests, so English, math, and IQ tests, and a preliminary interview, as well as a final panel interview. So all these were in English. Thankfully, I started learning English since I was very young, and it was actually one of my best subjects. And I found the subject to be very interesting. So what I needed to work hard on was mostly the writing. As like a lot of the seniors also mentioned, writing is really super difficult, I think, if you're not used to it. And yeah, because I was also not used to like writing argumentative essays in English, which was the requirement, I had to really work on that. I also had to prepare for the interview, as that was the very first formal interview I sat for in my life. Preparing for the tests and interviews were pretty hard, but also quite enjoyable, as I could learn new skills and tools that could help me in the future. So, and everything that I learned through the process, I actually carry with me until today, I think. And yeah, it's still useful until today. So this was the story of how my journey began in Singapore. As you can see, English was really one of the most important tools that gave me an edge over the other applicants, and it was also one of the factors why I could even study abroad in the first place. Okay, so after receiving that scholarship, my journey in Singapore began. So naturally, English took over my life. I needed to switch and make English my main language. So apart from just communicating with friends, everything at school was in English, even like the non-English subjects. I wrote a lot of essays in different subjects, which also helped me practice my writing skills, actually. Yeah. So as for my medicine and ASEAN scholarship application, I had English was super useful because I had to submit a personal statement of 1,000 words on why I wanted to study medicine. I think if I look back, a 15-year-old me would have struggled to write an essay of 1,000 words. But I think having written essays averaging like a few thousand words, maybe 4,000, 5,000 words for a few years, it was harder for me to make my personal statement short, actually, and still able to express whatever I wanted to tell the admission committee. Yeah, so after all that, and after being shortlisted for the interview, I went through a multi-station interview, which consists of a usual formal or panel interview, like the usual, why do you want to study medicine and stuff like that. And some other stations that required role play and a team-based station. Some may argue that the formal interviews will be harder, but I think, right, as you can always prepare answers for formal interviews, it was actually easier. I think role play interviews and team-based tasks require you to be able to think quickly and express yourself well without much preparation. And I think moving forward in the future, a lot of like employers or like scholarship interviewers will apply this kind of interview strategies on applicants. So I think mastering English very well and like just thinking rapidly in English is super important, so you can tackle all these interviews well. Yeah. Yeah, and as I said, most university courses abroad are also conducted fully in English. And yeah, I am also learning medicine fully in English. In the future, all my professional work as a doctor will also be mainly in English. So 99.9% of the time actually is in English. Okay, so that's the end of my background story. If you have any questions regarding my journey in detail, regarding like applications, scholarships, or like why did I go to Singapore? Why did I choose medicine? You can just ask either now or at the end of my sharing, and I'll be happy to share more with you. Yeah, hopefully it will be useful.
Yeah, so anyway, probably for all the students or parents, orang tua semua di sini mungkin apakah ada pertanyaan gitu, mungkin dari yang tadi sudah di-share banyak sekali pengalamannya, gimana dia bisa dapat scholarship, terus apa yang dialami di situ, mungkin kalau ada yang kurang jelas atau mungkin kurang ya terlalu cepat atau mungkin ada apapun, just don't hesitate to drop any questions gitu ya. Jadi diingatkan lagi, jangan ragu-ragu gitu ya, karena pengalamannya memang banyak sekali yang harus di-share. Jadi mungkin Livia juga mencoba untuk pack semua info yang ada untuk kita semua gitu. Jadi kalau ada apapun silakan ditanyain gitu ya. Oke, mungkin boleh dilanjut lagi ya, Livia.
Okay, sorry. I was talking quite fast actually. I think this is karena udah kebiasa, jadi lumayan cepat pace-nya. And also because Singapore English is quite fast-paced. And I have a certain Singapore accent, if you can notice.
Yep. Yeah, accentnya sudah berubah ya, so it's changed to Singaporean English now.
Okay, hopefully it's still understandable. Okay, I'll move on. So you might say, okay, but I don't see myself applying to scholarships or universities anytime soon. Is there still a need for me to learn English well? So my answer will be pretty obvious. It's a yes. So even if you're not planning to use English for a major thing soon, it's always easier to learn bit by bit and to enjoy the learning process. Who knows, you might need it someday and you will need to learn so much in such a short time. Gak usah ngebut gitu belajarnya. So now the question is, how do I start? How do I start to hone my English language skills? Okay, so I grew up speaking Bahasa Indonesia 99% of the time. Where and how did I exactly learn English? So I think the key is that my parents exposed me to English since I was young. At first, it was in a form of children's songs and books. And when I started attending school, my parents also enrolled me in English language classes. So from there, I developed a habit and interest in reading English books and watching English TV shows. So I think my point is that if you can like start slow and build your interest first before like learning. I think being interested in something you learn will make learning easier for you. Okay, so reading, right? I really think reading is a very, very important skill to have in learning any language, even Bahasa Indonesia. Reading extensively really helps with, firstly, building vocabulary, getting used to the correct use of grammar, and on top of that, reading also really broadens your perspective and knowledge. So this is really the basic foundation of learning a language. And if you are not reading yet, if you're not used to reading, it is never too late to get into the habit. You can start small, set a target, and keep increasing. And you can read according to your interests. So for me personally, when I was younger, I read a lot of fictional books. So like Narnia, Jack and the Giant Peach, like Harry Potter, and many more. So that was interesting to me at the time. And more recently, when I grew up, non-fictional books appeal to me more. So that was more interesting for me to read. But whatever they are, there are always things you can learn from anything you read. So maybe you're interested in like storybooks, you're interested in poetry, you're interested in other things, you can just read, and start from there. As Dr. Sue said, the more that you read, the more things you will know. The more that you learn, the more places you'll go. Yeah. Okay, next. Okay, so when you already have a firm foundation of the language through reading, it is much, much easier to get used to writing in English, which is the biggest challenge, right? Since you can learn and familiarize yourself with many writing styles by reading, it can make your writing flow more naturally as well. So to be honest, my writing skills when I was in Indonesia were not the best, since you're not really required to write in English for a lot of things, except for maybe assignments in school. And I remember when I first came to Singapore and I had to write so many essays in English, the learning curve was very steep, meaning that I had to really catch up to my peers in a very short amount of time. But eventually, through a lot of practice and a lot of guidance from teachers, I could catch up magically, right? So I think reading essays was really also an important part of my writing skills, like how I learned writing lah. Just imitating the style of writing for the first few times also really helped me to discover my own style of writing and familiarize myself with the structure of essays. So you might not realize it now, but writing is also one of the most important skills in learning the English language, since it doesn't just show like how much you understand the language, but it shows how well you can express yourself in the language. You will encounter a lot of instances where writing essays in English is required. So, for example, university application or scholarship application, where sometimes that one essay can change your whole life. So you really need to make it perfect. You've got assignments as well. And even in the far future, if you need to like apply for jobs, job requirements, or like publishing a research paper, maybe. Yeah, that's what I've been doing in medical school. I've been writing research papers as well. So writing really comes in handy even when medicine is a science thing, right? But yeah, you still need to write papers and essays. Okay, speaking. The other component of expression in learning a language is how you speak in that language. How do you master the art of speaking in English fluently? The answer is actually very simple. You just have to practice. I think at the start, when you're not used to like speaking in English, it's really very daunting and very frightening. There is that fear of saying the wrong thing or fear of being judged, right? If you pronounce a word incorrectly. Yeah, I felt that too actually when I first came to Singapore, especially because I was speaking in a different accent than the rest of my friends here. But with practice, you'll get used to it. And don't get discouraged if you pronounce a word wrongly or your grammar is still a bit wonky or like, yeah, funky. It gets better. I think making mistakes is the best way to learn. So because when you make one mistake, right, you will really internalize it to your memory and you'll never make the same mistake again. And another tip is to watch a lot of shows in English, listen to English songs and try to understand the lyrics. So yeah, just anything you're interested in, like it can be your favorite TV show, it can be your favorite movie series. Like for example, now Spider-Man came out, right? So you can watch that in English without like referring to the subtitles. And like I said before, imitation is also a great way to learn. Like babies learn by imitating their parents, right? So that is how most of us learn English too, by imitating. So the more exposure you get to the language, the easier and the more interesting it will be to learn. And as to why speaking is important, I think it is really the most basic form of communication. English is a very universal language, and most countries speak it as an international language. When I first came to Singapore, I had no choice but to speak in English all the time to my friends, right? Because they don't understand Bahasa Indonesia. Yeah, so if I couldn't speak English, I'll be lonely and I'll be hanging out with only people from Indonesia. On top of that, it's also really important because my oral examinations, so for example, like English oral examinations are also in English, and it will be very, very useful if you have interviews for uni application again, or scholarship application, or for meetings even with other people from around the world. Okay, so enough with all those things. I don't need to belabor any further. So I think just some general tips for learning English that worked for me that I can share with you is, firstly, again, you will learn better when you love what you're learning, or if you're interested in what you're learning. So forcing to learn is never the answer. I mean, you can, but it will be super painful and not a very enjoyable way to learn lah. So my tip is find something that excites you about learning English. It may be to be able to read your favorite book or watch your favorite movies without having to read the subtitles. It might also be to fulfill a dream to study or live abroad, to get a scholarship, to work in an international company, or to make friends with people on the other side of the world, or to get an international audience. Like for example, if you want to venture to YouTube or like book writing or something like that, yeah, it's easier to have it in English lah. So whatever it is, find your goal, find what interests you, and it will help you learn better and in a more enjoyable way. And this doesn't just apply to English, by the way. This applies to any other subjects. So if you want to get better at math, maybe find something that excites you about math. Yeah, something like that. Okay, second thing is don't be afraid to make mistakes. Don't let your fear hinder you from practicing and learning, because it is normal and expected to make mistakes when you are learning a new thing, and they are the best way to learn and grow. Okay, the third thing, in the same way, don't be afraid to explore things outside of your comfort zone. So most of your growth and self-exploration is done outside of your comfort zone, actually. So my tip is to explore an interest you've always put off. Put in effort to get into your dream scholarship or enter your dream school, or pick up new hobbies even, especially when you are young and have all the time in the world, because I think as you grow older, time is not really luxury for a lot of us. And yeah, especially before choosing a university course that might dictate what you do for the rest of your life. For example, if you want to get into like medicine, I think it's better for you to have a foundation or a rough idea of what is medicine, what is, like, for example, what is architecture, what will I be doing for the rest of my life, do I like it, so you are not trapped in that same thing for the rest of your life. Okay, the last thing, which is also the most important thing for me, I think as humans, we always need each other. So a difficult journey can be easier when the burden is shared between 2, 3, or 4 people or more. So get a good group of friends or your family who can support each other in achieving each other's dreams. They can also motivate you and help you to become better people lah. And I think, for me, my source of support is firstly my family and my close friends. And also, can turn to God for help if you need to. Yeah, okay. So I think that's the end of my presentation, actually. I hope it was not too long, and I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was useful. Okay, thanks,
Thank you,
everybody.
Lydia. Thank you.
Thank
Thank you
you.
for the sharing. Yeah. So
We expect you to ask some questions, but I think everyone here is a bit confused whether what should I ask. So thankfully, Miss Wen Yi, and I
have some questions.
Prepare something. Okay, so we have some questions to ask to Livia. So Livia, wait, I forgot. Sorry. you said that you had 2 years of secondary school and then 2 years of junior college, ya, if I'm mistaken.
Correct.
So berarti you spend 4 tahun instead of 3 tahun kalau if you studied in Indonesia at that time berarti harusnya 3 tahun ya.
Yeah,
Berarti
betul.
could you explain more? Maybe you know something about that?
Mungkin I try to jawab in Indo aja ya, biar lebih
Boleh.
gampang. Okay, so emang sih betul. Jadi instead of 3 years, SMA harusnya 3 tahun lagi kan. Saya udah lulus SMP kelas 9 nih. Harusnya tinggal 10, 11, 12 beres. But then, I mean, it was the program. Karena di tahun kedua secondary school itu ada major exam. Jadi they won't let you go into that year langsung gitu loh. Jadi harus turun kelas 1 tahun gitu. Jadi totalnya sampai beres SMA ya 4 tahun. Karena SMA-nya kayak cuma 2 tahun gitu. But then I think looking back, I don't regret anything about it. Karena I mean, ya benar sih telat 1 tahun. Tapi 1 tahun itu juga adalah 1 tahun ekstra di mana saya dapat banyak experiences lebih, banyak new things lah. I think new skills and new experiences. Jadi no regret sih for me.
Pasti harus ada kesetaraan karena beda kurikulum ya Indonesia sama
betul
gitu. Kalau di sini kita ada primary 6 tahun, junior high 3 tahun, terus senior high 3 tahun, di sana kind of different ya. Okay, thank you. And then ini ada Miss Staff dulu. Miss Staff, or ini
yang dari ini dulu aja ya. So probably the questions from the chat box ya. Ini ada Liv, what inspired you to choose medical? And then Singapore. And then kenapa gimana bisa
barangkali tiba-tiba karena abis nonton drakor
enggak sih
medical gitu ya. Aduh.
Enggak sih. Sebenarnya ini kayak lumayan klise, tapi aku dari dulu pas lagi TK pun pengennya jadi dokter gitu, nggak pernah ganti-ganti. Cuman memang dari dulu tuh selalu cuman, oh iya pengen jadi dokter. Tapi kayak nggak tahu apa, maksudnya jadi dokter tuh ngapain sih? Jadi dokter tuh enak nggak sih? Masih oke nggak sih? I mean, ya ada status lah, cuman masih worth it gak sih? Karena kan sekarang banyak banget university courses yang mulai muncul sebagai top choices gitu ya, kayak computer science lah, kayak finance lah, gitu-gitu kan. I think what sealed the deal for me is pas lagi aku junior college, thankfully sekolah aku tuh banyak nyediain opportunities gitu loh buat aku untuk explore. Jadi kayak tadi foto yang aku lagi kayak megang some lab equipments, that was one of it, attachment. Jadi bisa lihat sehari-hari dokter tuh ngapain sih, terus environment-nya medical tuh kayak gimana sih gitu. Terus juga I think I was really interested in a field about service. Jadi kayak gimana ya? Karena aku beberapa kali ikutan community service kan, and I like it. I think I like interacting with people. I like sharing my experiences with people. So I think medicine juga salah satu career di mana banyak human interaction-nya, banyak kayak ways in which I can help people directly. I mean, banyak lah other things. I consider teaching as well, by the way, because of this. Yeah. Terus I think karena dari dulu aku suka banget science sih. Jadi I was always a science kid gitu. Senang banget eksperimen, senang banget kayak logic gitu. Jadi I think pertemuan dari 3 hal itu, ya jadilah gitu deh.
Medical jadinya.
Gitu. Thank you. And then ini from Miss Suni, what the most challenging things when living far from your parents ya? Umur 15 ke Singapura gitu ya, biasa di rumah mungkin Mbak minum gitu, atau baju udah siap bersih tapi tiba-tiba di Singapura no maid, no helper, apa yang kaget? Apa nih yang bikin Livia tuh kaget banget atau mungkin sempat gitu.
Iya.
Kalau aku sih sebenarnya aku lumayan homesick for the first 1 year especially karena kayak masih adjustment gitu kan. Terus English masih belum terlalu bagus. Jadi kayak teman-teman di sekolah masih nggak terlalu dekat gitu. Kayak lumayan susah lah. Jadi the people I had around me at that time cuman kayak my hostel friends yang tinggal bersama, sama paling kayak my church friends. Karena my church itu kayak Indo gitu kan. Gerejanya gereja Indo tapi ada di Singapura gitu. Jadi masih lumayan dekat. Ya lumayan homesick sih karena kayak nggak bisa ketemu family kan. Apalagi pertama-pertama itu mereka lumayan restrict. Jadi aku nggak bisa pulang ke Indonesia semau aku gitu. Harus minta izin, harus kayak, wah banyak banget lah, susah lah pulang tuh gitu. Terus benar juga tentang living sendiri. Kayaknya harus semuanya sendiri, cuci baju, cuci piring, terus pikirin mau makan apa 3 hari sekali gitu kan. Terus makannya harus sehat gitu-gitulah. Terus belajar sendiri, ya ada teman sih, tapi maksudnya beda lah, beda banget. Change of environment is always a shock to the system, I guess. Jadi susahnya di situ, tapi I think karena masih ada community for you to turn to, kayak masih ada teman-teman, terus kayak sekarang kan zaman teknologi ya, jadi apa-apa bisa video call sama family, sama friends di Bandung bisa video call juga gitu. Jadi it was pretty manageable, I guess, untuk survive gitu. Terus I think ya cuman persevere aja sih, terus dilakuin sampai akhirnya kebiasa gitu. Karena apapun, I think whatever in life you are going through, it is always about adapting to new changes. New changes will always appear. Even sekarang gitu ya. Aku beberapa bulan yang lalu baru pindah dari hostel ke rumah. Jadi sekarang aku kayak ngekos gitulah. Which is a very entirely different thing. Kayak nggak ada teman di sekitar gitu-gitu. Itu kan kayak another change juga kan that I have to go through. I think just learning to adapt and learning to find support in people that you trust. I think it's very important.
So itu tipsnya ya. Find support and persevere. Terus itu dilakuin sampai terbiasa gitu ya.
Jangan menyerah.
Jangan menyerah gitu ya. Don't give up lagi gitu ya.
Ya.
Oke. Sempet kena mental atau gimana banget?
Sempet
gitu?
dong.
Oh sempet.
Sempet dong. Tapi ya kalau misalnya gini loh, soalnya kalau misalnya aku give up, terus aku kayak balik ke Indonesia, terus what have I achieved? Nothing. What can I achieve? Nothing gitu. Ya kan? Jadi ya.
Jadi terus bertahan gitu ya. Iya. So memang dari segi beasiswanya juga ada ini ya, ada satu burden ya rasanya ya, gitu nggak?
Betul. Ya karena aku di sini full scholarship dari awal sampai sekarang actually. Jadi kayak scholarship kan selalu ada requirement ya. Dan requirement itu tuh nggak gampang sebenarnya. Even menurut aku kayak lumayan struggle lah untuk keep to their standards gitu. Kadang aku pernah juga sebenarnya dipanggil kayak nilai kamu kurang bagus, tolong di step up gitu loh. Terus aku langsung deg-degan gitu kan. Soalnya kalau misalnya disuruh bayar tuh mahal banget.
Boleh share mungkin?
Nah ya boleh nggak sih dari secondary school sampai sekarang university ini si scholarship tuh cover apa aja sih? Terus kira-kira kalau kamu harus bayar tuh berapa ya, Dino?
Oke. Kalau yang secondary school sampai JC itu mereka cover tuition fee kan semua, and then ada allowance juga. Jadi dikasih duit buat tahan hidup lah, living allowance gitu. As to how much, yang itu aku kurang tahu. Soalnya uang sekolah pas secondary school sama JC tuh ganti-ganti gitu. And I didn't really count, tapi it covered ya a lot lah. Tapi sebenarnya yang burden tuh kayak university ini sih. Karena pas lagi secondary school sama junior college, I think I could adapt quite well. Jadi I wasn't too I wasn't really struggling with the subjects gitu. Tapi yang university ini kuota buat scholarship-nya tuh super limited. Jadi kita ada 300 orang di batch-nya medicine yang dapat scholarship tuh paling kayak 5-10 gitu. And then it covers the whole tuition fee and ada living allowance juga. Dan tuition fee-nya tuh lumayan sih. 1 tahun kayak berapa ya?
Ayo, penasaran nih.
1 tahun kayak 400 juta lebih gitu. But that is also udah setelah subsidi dari government. Jadi kalau misalnya nggak ada subsidi dari government, 1 tahun tuh kayak 1,5 M rupiah. Which is a lot of money and I don't have that kind of money, right? Yeah.
Makanya waktu dipanggil waktu itu
Iya, betul.
bener takut banget ya karena
Bener takut banget
1,5 M itu gimana ya?
gitu loh. Karena I think the first year of university I was really struggling. I had a lot of things like going on lah, kayak bukan cuman academically it was very hard as well, tapi ada other things lah. Terus kayak when that news came, I felt so defeated because I felt like I'm going to disappoint my parents, I'm going to disappoint everybody that had faith in me, you know. And kayak kan the money was so big, right? So kayak gimana ya, nggak enak gitu loh ngomong ke parents ya, Pih, ini gimana ya gitu, terancam nih scholarship-nya gitu kan, nggak enak gitu, karena kalau nggak mereka harus bayarnya mahal banget gitu. Cuman I think pas lagi itu I just really surrendered to God sih. I mean I tried my best in the next year to redeem myself, especially kan, to prove that maksudnya I'm not that bad, you know, I can still maintain this scholarship. Tapi I also surrendered to God, I think. Kayak apapun, whatever that He has planned is good gitu. I trusted that. And jadi aku juga nggak terlalu stres yang sampai kayak, wah apa sih nggak bisa function, you know, super stress, jadi antisosial or something like that. Enggak. Kayak ya udah, I try my best, I do whatever I can, and then leave the rest to God. And also thankfully, my parents were very supportive of me. Kayak mereka nggak marahin gitu loh. Kayak I think a lot of times kalau misalnya ya ini kan kayak bisa dimarahin gitu sama parents ya. I imagine my parents would be so furious. Tapi enggak, mereka tuh kayak ya udah nggak apa-apa, try your best aja. Jangan distracted. I mean, they still supported me and they didn't like, tuh kan kamu nggak bisa gitu loh, you know. So I think that was really important. Ya supaya mentalnya juga nggak drop gitu. Ya gitu sih how I managed to get through that period of my life.
Okay. Another question dulu nih. You did mention about the test, ya math sama English gitu. Kalau di university ada tadi beberapa cici senior sudah share ngomongin, harusnya IELTS gitu. Gimana kalau pas waktu masuk secondary? Kalau kita nih di Indonesia kan seringnya suruh PET, FCE gitu. Nah, waktu secondary itu what kind of test atau dari
PET, FCE?
Oh, PET, FCE. Jadi yang harus dipersiapkan itu ya. Oke.
Oh, maksudnya I was asking
no, ini term sekarang atau ini kalau dulu apa ya?
Preliminary English test.
Preliminary test
Mungkin
gitu.
jadi
itu first Cambridge first
Okay, so for me kalau yang ke Anderson itu sebenarnya straightforward sih, karena semuanya udah by the school kan. That one the school arranged for us. Jadi tes-tesnya tuh semua dari sekolahnya, English, Math, and IQ test, like I said before. Kalau masuk uni, I didn't really need any IELTS atau TOEFL kayak gitu, karena I was already studying in full English. Kayak my main language of study was English gitu loh. Jadi mereka nggak perlu lagi separate test. Karena bahkan di kayak A-level, O-level, which is the UN-nya, kita ada English juga kan, dan everything else is also in English. So I don't think they needed to like do another test lah. Cuman ya lumayan banyak sih tes-tesnya. Kayak maksudnya yang I went through O level, which is the first ujian nasional after the 2 years of secondary school, and then 2 years later is the A level, and then yeah, a lot of major exams in between yang school gitu.
Kalau di medical university sekarang ada mahasiswa luar negeri gitu yang bukan sekolahnya base-nya itu sebelumnya dari Singapura gitu. Misalnya ada Indonesia gitu, terus dia join enroll gitu. Di situ ada nggak? Dan maksudnya waktu masuk, apakah requirement-nya juga susah banget atau beda atau pakai
Kalau di medicine sendiri nggak terlalu ada sih foreigner yang langsung dari SMA di Indonesia misalnya langsung ke sini, nggak ada, karena I think that's the government policy. Tapi in terms of NUS in general, kayak maksudnya the university itself, banyak banget orang Indonesia yang kesini untuk kayak belajar university, and I think mereka ada ininya sendiri sih, ada ujiannya sendiri sih actually, namanya University Entrance Examination or UE. Jadi kalau kalian mau find info on that, bisa cari di Google probably. Ya.
Saya Singapura, I think one of the, ya mungkin yang kalau paling deket, terus untuk segi edukasi gitu kan, one of the best. Ya bagus ya, pakai NUS gitu. Kayaknya kalau masuk satu kan nggak gampang. Mungkin ada informasi gimana gitu.
NUS is 10th in the world and first in Asia, I think. No. Yeah, something like that.
First in Asia. Ya mungkin kalau students di sini ada yang kepikiran, karena NUS nggak cuma medical school sebetulnya mungkinnya, jadi kalau mau cari info untuk sekolah di Singapura, ya mungkin itu cek di UEE itu ya, tadi yang Livia sempat share. Gitu. Oke, ada pertanyaan lagi mungkin dari parents atau dari student semua.
Ini dari Miss Wan I ada lagi nih.
Ada lagi ya?
Any tips biar nggak males, Liv?
Yeah.
Masih ada, aduh males.
Males.
General trip ada. Personal tips. Pernah dong males?
Kalau menurut aku sih, males itu memang tidak bisa dipungkiri akan ada ya. Tapi bagaimana untuk mengatasi kemalasan itu? Menurut aku kalau punya goal in mind, jadi for example, kamu mau apa nih dari belajar ini? Misalnya, kamu mau ranking, atau misalnya mau best in like this specific subject. Ya kan? Jadi kayak ada motivasinya gitu loh. Atau mungkin kamu mau, nggak tahu, apapun lah motivasi yang kamu bisa ambil gitu loh. Iya, terus persevere sih. Karena gini loh, menurut aku, kalau kamu malas tuh kamu nggak akan get anywhere. Sedangkan kalau kamu belajar dan kamu like master that subject well, kamu tuh jadi bisa kayak lebih gampang hidupnya ke depannya, I think. Karena everything that we learn have implications in the future. Jadi kamu if you learn English now, then it will be super easy for you to adapt later in life gitu loh. Kayak yang aku bilang, kayak jadi kamu catch up-nya tuh nggak usah sejauh itu. Misalnya nih, kamu sama teman kamu punya the same ambition, mau kerja di Amerika, for example. Terus kamu udah mulai belajar sungguh-sungguh dari kelas 7, dibanding teman kamu yang belajar baru, pas university, aduh, gue mau kerja di Amerika, gimana ya, gitu. Kan beda dong, kayak si slope-nya gitu loh. Yang satu lebih landai, lebih enjoyable, satu lagi lebih steep dan lebih susah. Menurut aku gitu sih, karena whatever it is, maksudnya goal kamu tuh harus ada tangganya. Jadi kayak learning is the steps to reach your goal. Kalau kamu nggak build those steps from early on, either you will have difficulty nantinya, susah ngejarnya, atau kamu nggak bakal dapet ke goal yang kamu pengenin
Ya. So tetap harus ada goal supaya kita tahu mau kemana gitu ya. And ya start small dari sekarang, jangan nanti udah mau kuliah, waduh harus tes IELTS gitu mungkin gitu ya. Buru-buru belajar Inggrisnya dan lain-lain gitu. I see. Oke.
Oh, Miss, ini ada pertanyaan sebenarnya, tapi kayaknya agak mungkin settingannya gitu, mungkin harus diganti ya, guys. If you want to ask, to-nya itu diganti jadi ke everyone in meeting gitu. Oke, so sebentar ya, ini sebenarnya ada kayaknya yang nanya. Ini Nathan sebenarnya ask two questions, but didn't show up here at all.
Mungkin boleh di resend. Barusan udah di.
Oh ya, sebentar.
Nah, coba bisa ada.
Coba. Okay. Now, could you just send me the question, or you can? Oh ya, oh nggak ada tuh everyone.
You can also unmute.
Okay. Oh, so sorry for the mistakes. So, please just send to me then. Miss Muti aja, Miss Mut.
Miss Mut, please wait. We check the setting here. Sorry.
Oh yeah, okay, Miss. Okay. Oh, nih. Do you take regular part-time jobs during your breaks? Since it's kind of different ya, kalau di Indonesia nggak ada nih magang-magang kayak gitu, kayak opportunity-nya tuh kurang ya. Tapi gimana kalau di sana?
Kalau aku sendiri, truthfully, I don't really go for any part-time jobs karena I think for me, my priority kalau lagi libur itu pulang ke Indonesia sih, ketemu family gitu. Jadi I think, tapi different people have different priorities. So my friends here banyak yang spend their holidays itu kerja part-time. Can be anything they're interested in. Kayak my friend likes to work in a cafe karena dia seneng kayak bikin kopi, seneng kopi lah gitu. Terus ada yang juga kerja jadi guru les, kerja jadi server di restoran gitu-gitu. Banyak sih. Cuman kalau aku for me myself kayak nggak terlalu sih. Aku pernah punya part-time job as a tuition teacher, kayak ngajar chemistry and ngajar math. But then cuman gitu doang sih, kayak nggak terlalu banyak gitu.
Okay. Another question. Thank you for Nathan. How did you cope with not being able to see your family every day, to live in a totally different environment, especially during your secondary school, because there's no Google Meet, there's no Zoom.
Betul.
Like it's what year?
Dulu Skype.
Yeah. What year did you?
2015. 2014.
2015, 2005 maybe. Since
7 tahun yang lalu.
7 tahun. Oh ya, 2015. Oh ya, berarti.
Ada sih sebenarnya, tapi Skype, tapi kayak
Skype.
dulu laggy banget juga.
Yeah. And you cannot call your family in every place, right? Like
nggak ada waktunya juga sih, mostly. I think kalau aku sih, thankfully aku tuh dulu di hostel. Jadi teman-teman tuh ada lah di situ. Kayak aku ada roommate dulu. Jadi nggak totally alone banget. I could talk to my roommate about like stuff kalau misalnya lagi struggling and stuff. I think it's also very very important to like have interpersonal skills. Jadi maksudnya aku tahu lah kayak pasti ada yang tipe orangnya tuh malu, tipe orangnya gimana gitu ya, kayak takut ngobrol sama orang baru. Cuman menurut aku penting banget sih kalau kamu, apalagi kalau di tempat yang baru, environment yang baru, punya temen itu perlu banget supaya ada support, ada orang yang kamu bisa turn to. Nggak usah banyak-banyak, nggak usah riweuh gitu loh.
Iya,
Kayak
iya.
satu cukup, yang penting kamu ada support gitu. Dan gimana ya, kalau sama family aku ini aja sih, kayak keep in touch aja sih. Kayak make it a habit untuk contact them. Ya,
Ya, tadi Livia juga mention ya about homesick and pasti
iya,
ya di tahun-tahun atau ya bulan-bulan awal pasti kangen mami
bener.
mungkin.
Lagi masih anak SMP gitu ya, masih
Iya,
kelas
Betul.
9 gitu ya.
atau mungkin nggak kangen mami tapi kangen temen. Aduh.
Iya, betul. Ya, but everything gets better lah. Kayak with time, you will get used to it and you will have new friends anyway. Kayak kamu pasti kangen kayak, wah teman-teman aku di Indonesia, kayak dulu ya kalau aku ngelihat teman-teman di Indonesia SMA gitu, wah seru banget mereka ke Bali bareng, atau nggak seru banget
Prom
mereka
gitu.
ngapain.
Kalau di sini di Bandung banyak yang prom.
Iya kan,
Terus
prom gitu.
ini juga 17 years mostly
Ya,
sini ngerayain party
Sweet 17,
gede-gedean
betul.
17
Iya,
pre-sweet. Nah,
dulu
gimana Pak?
FOMO sih. FOMO tuh
Oh,
fear of missing out. Tapi ya kita kan di sini ada friends juga kan. So we made our own things. We
nah
have
ya
fun,
oke.
had fun on our own. Kayak aku juga ada Sweet 17 BTW kayak kecil-kecilan, tapi sama teman-teman yang di sini lah. Jadi I mean friends are not confined to one geographical location. Kamu nggak harus cuma punya teman di Bandung kan. Jadi kalau di sini aku sama teman-teman di Singapura ya udah have fun aja. Kayak do things that we want to do gitu loh. Itu sih.
Oke. Ini another question. Thank you for maminya Karen. Bagaimana Livia dapat yakin milih medicine sebagai jurusan? Tadi sebenarnya mirip ya sama question yang sebelumnya. Apa yang inspired you the most gitu. Terus sampai sekarang nih regret nggak sih ada aduh coba gue nggak milih ini susah banget
Karena hampir ke drop dari scholarship sih ya. Jadi takut regret. Tapi enggak sih, aku enggak regret thankfully. Kalau lebih ke doubts, ada. Doubts tuh kayak ragu-ragu gitu loh. Apakah I am meant for this profession? Am I suited for this profession? Itu ada. Tapi in terms of regret, kayak aduh nyesel. Harusnya aku masuk kayak computer science or something like that. Enggak. Karena I think for me, ini ya menurut aku ya, medicine itu nggak cuman require you to have the brain power. Kayak kamu bisa pinter, kamu bisa jago ngomong sama orang, kamu bisa kayak jago analysis, jago science gitu. Tapi kalau kamu nggak punya hatinya di medicine, menurut aku nggak bisa sih. Kayak karena kalau menurut aku ya, menurut aku personally, medicine itu kalau aku kayak panggilan gitu sih, kayak calling, like answering what's the purpose of my life. I prayed a lot pas lagi junior college, pas kayak university application and kayak deciding aku masuk course apa gitu kan. I prayed a lot karena honestly there are so many choices to choose from and depending on your priority itu tuh beda-beda banget. Kayak kalau kamu maunya duit gitu, kayak banyak duit bisa masuk kayak ini. Kalau kamu maunya prestige bisa masuk apa gitu. Tapi I think kayak I prayed on it, terus I mean dikasih petunjuk juga I guess, dan dibukakan jalan menurut aku sih. Kayak jadi aku lumayan yakin sih kalau like this is my calling and I think I think my calling in life is just to like be in this service line I guess, to like help people in this way. Kalau doubts yang aku mention tadi itu tuh sebenarnya banyaknya stems from like kayak karena pelajaran tuh susah banget kan, jadi naturally you'll think like aduh salah nggak ya, maksudnya bener nggak ya gue tuh bisa gitu loh survive in this profession, bener nggak ya are the hours worth it, karena medicine itu kan long working hours, kayak kamu harus kerja dari pagi sampai malam, terus nanti malam harus jaga lagi, harus on call lagi segala macam gitu. Is it worth it gitu? Pasti ada doubts kayak gitu. Tapi I think if you have a purpose in life, if you have perseverance, dan kamu trust that, like, if you trust that this is like what you're meant to do in life, then it's okay. You can just apa ya, kayak melewati semua doubts itu sih. Menurut aku gitu sih. Lumayan susah kalau ngomongin tentang kayak calling, I think, because not everybody will have that clear calling, right? But I think in whatever you do and whatever, kayak misalnya kayak pilih jurusan gitu ya, medicine gitu kan. It is also a commitment for yourself. Kayak you will be in that field for a long time. So you just commit and do your best. I think that's what's important.
Oke, ini satu pertanyaan lagi, ini Miss jadi penasaran. Back then during your 7th graders, pasti kan belum tahu nih, belum paham apa sih scholarship, terus belum kebayang juga mau sekolah studi di Singapura gitu. Apakah emang sudah persiapan nih belajarnya pokoknya mati-matian saat itu, atau sebenarnya ya santai aja gitu?
Buat yang
Persiapannya dari kapan?
pertama banget ya, buat yang pertama banget. Sebenarnya aku nggak tahu dari awal banget masuk SMP sih tentang scholarship ini. I only knew like kayaknya kelas 8 akhir gitu. Karena ada guru yang ngomong gitu. So aku kayak, lumayan interesting, kayaknya lumayan seru juga gitu. Sebenarnya pertama-pertama bukan kayak, wah aku harus achieve this, harus gimana gitu. Di bawah santai sih kalau sama aku. So, terus towards the end of my kelas 9, kayak setelah UN beres, jadi aku fokusnya ke UN dulu sebenarnya. Pas lagi pertama-pertama kan UN kan lumayan early kan. Habis itu the test was after UN. Jadi aku fokus ke UN dulu, fokus ke semuanya udah beres, baru aku fokusin ke persiapan tes. Tapi untungnya, maksudnya gimana ya? Ya belajar do the best mah dari awal aja sih. Jadi pas lagi terakhir tuh kayak catch up-nya dikit gitu loh. Cuman
iya,
aku harus belajar
bener.
tentang writing aja atau enggak interview aja. Tapi kayak ada foundation tuh udah ada karena udah put in effort dari awal gitu. Bukan specifically buat scholarship itu, tapi ya udah ada gitu. Terus ya gitu sih, kayaknya I really studied intensively for 2 months I think. Kayak belajar writing segala macam. Buat writing itu aku belajarnya ada senior yang guided me through everything. Kayak senior yang udah belajar di Singapura gitu. Aku minta dia bantuin. Tolong dong kayak kasih feedback. Apa nih yang kurang? Apa nih yang perlu diimprove gitu. Terus gimana biar writingnya lebih bagus. Nanti dia kasih feedback, terus I do another essay buat kayak cobain that apa sih advice gitu loh.
Oh iya, benar-benar. So ya bikin essay itu harus tanya, ask other opinions, ada people opinionnya, jangan cuman pendapat sendiri. Kalau kalian nih ada yang pernah nonton YouTube-nya Maudy Ayunda, she also make personal letter itu sekitar 1 bulan, galaunya berbulan-bulan, dan akhirnya dia buat itu satu personal letter untuk bisa keterima di Harvard. Dan satu lagi apa ya, I forgot, itu 1 bulan gitu, jadi nggak bisa nih besok dikumpulin ngerjainnya nanti malam. Nggak bisa.
Iya.
Bener banget. Aku pas apply ke medicine ada personal statement juga kan. I actually asked Miss Steph untuk proofread, kayak tolong dong liatin apa yang kurang kayaknya gitu. I asked a lot of people, kayak my other friends juga kayak for advice.
Liv, ini sorry, satu lagi nih ada students. What did you struggle when you first arrived to Singapore? Struggle pertama kali, what did you struggle the most?
Selain
mungkin
yang
bulan-bulan awal lah ya.
Selain homesickness itu, I think I struggled a lot to make new friends karena nggak biasa lah sama language-nya, especially ya. Karena mereka kayak semuanya English gitu kan, terus kayak cepet banget ngomongnya, I couldn't catch up gitu. Jadi itu sih yang pertama-pertama kayak lumayan, aduh kenapa ya di Singapura ini kayak susah banget. dapat teman gitu, atau enggak ngikutin pelajaran juga karena guru-gurunya ngomongnya cepet kan, guru-gurunya everything is in English. Terus kadang-kadang ada like words that I don't understand, kayak tiba-tiba ini kata apa gitu, so aku harus Google Translate.
English.
Iya, harus
English.
Google Translate, kayak ini apa gitu kan. Gitu sih, communication I think. But yeah, it got better karena lama-lama kebiasa sih. Kayak kalau misalnya udah surrounded by everybody who speaks English, then yeah, it got better. Dan aku juga mencoba lah untuk kayak join conversations in English meskipun agak gimana gitu kan. Tapi untungnya teman-temannya baik dan nggak kayak langsung English lu jelek gitu. Kayaknya I don't think people are so mean to do that. Kayak mereka lumayan open, mereka understanding karena aku baru kan dari Indonesia. Jadi mereka kayak oh iya nggak apa-apa gitu, pelan-pelan aja.
Okay, so actually this session should be in only 1.5, but ini a bit over 9 minutes. So I hope the audience don't mind with the lateness. Okay, mungkin Mista. Satu lagi untuk penanya, thank you so much. So Mbak Yustin nanti akan ask the address to send you a small gift.
Wow, thank you. Thank you so much, ESC.
Thank you so much, Livia, for sharing a lot of things, a lot of life experience as well to us. Yeah. So just hope that and pray you can success to be a very good doctor.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks everybody who asked questions also. I think they were really insightful and quite interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, Mista mungkin bisa close.
Okay, so before we close our session, so probably can I ask everyone to turn on your camera for a while? So can we take some photos to memorize? Okay, can we turn on? So we are going to have group photo session. So I think okay, just hold on. So we're still waiting for most of you for probably several seconds.
Okay. So, okay. So.
Yeah, so hold on. So first page first, yeah. You can show your face and smile a little bit. Okay, thank you. Wait, still in the first page. Okay.
Okay. One
more. Next page. Okay, hold on. Smile. Okay. Yep. Okay, so okay, thank you everyone for joining. Thank you for all of the questions. So thank you also for Livia and also Jaslyn to share the life experience and also the study experience there. Hopefully all of this will benefit all of you. You get all the motivation, the insight, and the help. And probably if you need any help or any contact for each person here, probably all of you can contact Ms. Wen-Yi, whether or not to connect with all the speakers today. Yep, I think so. That's all for today, everyone. Thank you again, Livia. Thank you again, Jaslyn. So best of luck to all of you and God bless everyone. Thank you for coming. Bye-bye.
Thank you, guys.
Bye-bye. Bye.